Hello everyone, welcome back to Factorio. I am SeiferKatt, yes I am, I've confirmed who I am. And we've got some Factorioing to do today. So, I've got a couple of tasks, and one of them is very esoteric, and one of them is just something I should have done ages ago. But let's start with the one that's easy, which is just get cobalt steel a little bit better. And that one's actually a pretty easy fix. It's kind of a weird one though as well. It's one of those things that... So the problem is these are using these really old slow red things, and they should really be using the purple ones because we want as much of the cobalt to go this way as possible. Because that's really where we're getting most of our cobalt steel from these days. So that's our fix for that. Good job, we really did that. I know we all struggled with that, but we managed in the end. Anyway, the next thing I'd like to do, we do have something saying improve green circuits, and we could do that. But use chrome better is actually going to be the one that I'm actually going to spend some time on. Because we've had all these off products for chrome sitting around for a while, and I thought, well, why don't we actually use those? You know? Actually get something done with them. So we're actually going to do that now. Why we didn't do it sooner, I don't really know. I guess because I was building other stuff, but right now some things are beginning to back up, and I'd like to use them. So the main things that are backing up is chrome and the nickel. Now I was doing some looking into that, and not chrome, sorry, cobalt and nickel. Now cobalt can be used in a couple of ways. It can make molten cobalt, which will never happen. Could be used to make molten iron. Okay. Or also molten steel, which we're not going to worry too much about that right now. What I would like to do is get more iron and more titanium, which is what the nickel can be used for. So we're going to look into those things today. Yeah, that's what we're looking into today. So the first step is upgrading all of these into faster inserters, because quite frankly they're a bit pathetic right now, and I don't want pathetic inserters. And let's pick it like that so it's a bit faster. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take these over here. Because up here we've got some iron facilities. Now if we can drag one through here and the other one probably just above it, we can probably get some stuff happening today. And also I want to speed them up, because we're going to start using a lot of this stuff. A lot more than we've really used in quite some time. So it'll be an interesting growth. Now it's not really super important of course, but probably better to do than not do at this point. So we're going to move this up a little. What is this going? Oh, it's backing up here at the moment. That's fine. And then we can probably... Oh, you know what? There's a perfect gap there. Let's do that then. In fact, there's a couple of perfect gaps there. That's looking pretty good. And what I'd like to do is bring... I wonder if it'd be a bad idea to actually just have one thing of this. So put the nickel and cobalt on the same line. And at the moment I'm thinking not a bad idea. There are going to be slight problems with it, but that's alright. Ow, I've been hit by a train again. Happens all the time. And what we're going to do is just bring this one around. And we're not going to go crazy on it. We're just going to do one line of it for now. And that should be... Nope, that one. And I may also want to have them as purples, just because... Imagine they want to go a bit faster than that. Now, of course, one of the problems is everything is so blimmin' slow here. Not really much I can do about that as of now, but that's okay. Baby steps, as they say. Okay, and if we run on ahead and just make sure that the cobalt isn't getting jammed up on the wrong side, which it is, of course, getting jammed up on the wrong side. We expected that, so that's fine. Now these should have cobalt. Yep, they got cobalt, they got nickel. That's good. That's good stuff. That's where we want to be. So put the nickel in there. Chuck the skeleton in again. So this will be producing 360 molten iron as opposed to what we were producing before, which should be a vast improvement. Now, we're not going to go too crazy with this for now, but we are going to turn the other side into it as well. Because at some point we will run out of cobalt and nickel. I don't know when that day is going to come, but let's just be prepared for it. And we'll just split that up a bit. Put that in there, put that in there. And already we're having problems with cobalt. I'm immediately disappointed. Where is any of my cobalt? Oh, we got carbon problems. Interesting. Fascinating even. Okay, well let's not have carbon problems. That's my next big bit of advice. Just don't have those problems. Yeah, it's coming through. It's just a bit slower than I would like. And okay, and that should be a little bit more carbon coming in my day. Should hopefully speed up the cobalt ore. And look, we might even offset that one. Just that way they're both working. In fact, I think that one was waiting for cobalt as well. These could be faster. As could... No, these are going alright. He says, but I really don't think they are going alright. And then we'll just connect like that. Because the goal is we just want to have these really just saturated with good old-fashioned stuff we can use. So speed those up as well. Okay, and that should mean that's no longer a problem, and iron should be good on that one induction furnace. Right now it's a bit slow, but that's okay, it'll get there. It does put through a lot of iron though, it's like producing 3 times as much iron. And that's pretty good. Pretty excited about that. But if I remember rightly, we could also do another trick with this. Which is, of course, the molten steel. Now, right now these are going with just silicon, which is fine. Steel is actually not a problem, but if we could boost it, why would we not? No, that's probably fine. We'll think about it. We may change our... We reserve the rights to change our minds later on that one, I suppose. And that should be producing a lot of... just a lot of stuff in general. You know what? I don't actually want this iron to go up there. This iron I would prefer if it was dedicated to this task. And likewise, I prefer if this iron was dedicated to this task as well. So we might be producing a little bit less ferric chloride. Ferric chloride? I'm pretty sure it's ferric chloride. There's definitely chloride. But the goal is we just want to be making a lot of this. Excuse me. And already we seem to be getting some sort of response. That's good. We want to be seeing some sort of response. Those are my favorite types of responses. Some sort. And we really just want to push it out of here as fast as possible. I wonder if we could... Where is this iron going? I'm just wondering whether we could push the iron into another path that would make things a little bit more efficient elsewhere. Don't know if it's particularly needed, but if I was going to do that, where would I push it? I mean, down here uses a lot of iron, I believe. Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea, actually. And we will get it through some... No, you know what? We don't need to do that. Iron is fine. He says, but he's really not sure about that. Okay, you know what? We'll keep that on the record for now. Titanium, actually. We do want more titanium. And I believe this is nickel here. Looking very nickel-ish. Yeah, that's nickel. Okay, so likewise, we're going to split the titanium, the nickel, to go directly north to the end of the titanium line, which is actually kind of the best place for it. So let's connect that. Make sure we haven't had any weird connections there. Everything looks pretty good. And that's nickel there, right? It is. Because hopefully we can feed some of this into the titanium. And that'll just make it a little bit cheaper, in fact. Okay, that's fine. Could also do it with aluminium and tin, but quite frankly, doing it with nickel will suffice. That's what they've always told me, just do it with nickel. Now that is pumping titanium through as fast as it can, which is nice. But with the nickel addition, it should be doing even better than that. And that'll be not doubling our production, but it'll be doing well. Titanium's had a lot of growth of late, which is kind of what we want to see. Does also mean a lot more of these materials are going to be used, but that's all good as far as I can see it as well. Speed these up. I'll speed these up as well, why not? I'll not just speed them up, put some modules in there. They love modules. What we make modules for. Ow. Okay, looking good. So that should mostly speed things up, aside from the confusing cobalt we've got in the mix there. That shouldn't be there. Let's get that out of the way. I'm not super fond about the red belts here either. Can we just not have red belts? Thank you. Speed that up too. Okay. You know what? I wasn't happy with red belts. I don't even think I'm happy with blue belts now. Go straight to the ultimate belts. We make huge amounts of them. It shouldn't be a problem. And that should also allow us to make more steel, which, let's be honest, we always can use more steel. And more cobalt steel as well. Even better. Love it. Loving cobalt steel. I'm confused of how we've got more cobalt in the mix. Probably that's how. That shouldn't be happening. How did that happen, actually? Oh. Oops. Pick up like that, drop like that. There we go. Okay, I see how we've been doing it. Very strange reasons there. That's only supposed to pick up iron. Okay, well that's fine. Okay, so slight mistake there, but that's alright. Easily fixed. Those are the best types of mistakes. The ones that you can fix without having to cry. Don't you worry, I've got plenty of tears left, so if we need to cry later, we got it down. Okay, and this absolutely crazy system is still going. It is messy as all heck, but it gets the job done, and that's really what I care about. And it should be starting to deal with these. Yeah, you know what it is? Rad. Maybe even speed that up. And whenever it gets manganese, it'll chuck it in there, and that'll help me make my manganese steel. Or steel with manganese. I don't know. Whatever flavor you want, I'm not judging. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with the use of chrome now. We're improving our... We're not improving steel with it, but steel should be fine. Titanium is being improved quite a lot with it, in fact. Yeah. In fact, we get near full outputs, so that's pretty good too. I'm going to try and find a place where it splits a little. Because it's got to have to split somewhere, surely. It's being very non-splitting right now, which is kind of concerning. Come on, Titanium, you can't be on the same path forever. There we go. So what we're going to do is figure out which way that one's going. There we go. Put a pump there and a pump there. That should hopefully push things through a little bit better. In fact, it's not even really required there. Because it's not going out there, it's going... Okay. That wasn't even really a split then, was it? That was the old titanium refinery. That's alright. And connect. Power those for some reason. There's power in the middle of nowhere, surely. Great. And that'll push titanium a little bit further along where it needs to go. No harm in having another pump here. That'll speed it up a bit. Not hugely, but it will speed it up. In fact, it looks like it got shocked a little bit there, but that's okay. Does it ever go below 90? It shouldn't do. Yeah, so we should see a little bit more growth in the titanium for now. Yeah, it's going through. That's what we want to see. So, titanium's not a problem. Not worry about titanium anymore. 183 rockets. Now, that's not a to-do thing. That's just a number that I need to remember for later. Because at 103 rockets launched, I should have enough space science to no longer need to launch the satellites. And at that point, well, sorry, just gotta point it out, it's Destroyer Lake. Everyone loves Destroyer Lake because it looks like a destroyer. It's cute. I never made it intentionally, but it is my favorite lake. As opposed to this lake, which is Cargo Ship Lake. That's not a real lake, I just said that as a joke. We have a slight problem with heat shielding right now, apparently. Where we don't have any tungsten carbide plating. You should be having some. I think I know what's gone wrong here too. Ah, okay, that's an interesting problem. Kind of annoying because tungsten carbide heat shielding takes a little while to build. So it doesn't need much. Like one tungsten powder will do it, but if you run out entirely, then you're in trouble. So unfortunately, this tungsten carbide plating is going to take me a little while to catch it back up on. Which is a damn shame, but we'll get there. It's a bit of a slow process to make it. Probably not helped by everything being just thick and slow around it. Of course, faster belts does not make a faster process, it just means more belts. And you know what, probably could use some modules here as well, just to try and encourage it to get its shit together. Because I am all about encouraging my base to get its shit together. People could argue that I'm not very good at it myself, but that's just an insult, and I'm upset about that, so why would you say that? What did I do to you? It's got really personal there for literally no reason. We probably don't need infinite black processing module chips either. We can slow that down. So now we're getting the heat shields in. This is the thing that's slowing us down, but that should be changing very, very quickly. Like that is a situation that will be resolving itself. I say resolving itself, but I am actually doing work to resolve it, so I guess it doesn't really resolve itself now, does it? Okay, but I'm seeing more heat shielding being made, and that will launch more rockets. So we're currently at 170 rockets, so we need to launch 13 more rockets. If we can launch 13 rockets by the end of today, I will be ever so happy. Well, we've certainly got the RCUs for it. So that's cool, I suppose. They are all running. That is fabulous. Fabulous is not a word I use often, but it is one I've just used now, and you know what? I'm going to live with that. It's a word I'm going to accept, because I have literally no choice anymore in my life. And we're going to move that one out, because see, if you do that, you get a no, not a space for a radar. No one uses radars anymore. The time of radars is over. And we've got a logistics spot in my inventory for some reason. That's weird and confusing. I certainly didn't ask for it to be there, but there it was regardless. Part of me wonders if I could even get these sped up a little bit more. Certainly could, I suppose. There'd be no harm in getting things sped up. Of course, we are also on the final science, 26%. Now, for those who are regulars around here, I've been saying, I'm going to make a truth bomb here. I've been saying, oh, after I'm done with SeaBlock, I'm going to play something other than Factorio for a little while. And I thought to myself, well, I was gonna do Civilization. So I played around with Civilization, and then I thought, you know what, Civilization gets really freaking dull near the end. Like, really dull near the end. I went, I don't want to do Civilization. What I do want to do, though, is space exploration. So when I'm done with Factorio, I will be going straight back into Factorio immediately. The only difference is on Sundays when I do the secret streams, the ones that are not on schedule, I will be not doing Factorio on those secret streams. I will be, I don't know, a variety streamer for that, if you will. Just so that way I can try and get caught up on my backlog of YouTube videos. Because I do not want to just inundate people with like thousands of videos on Factorio. I mean, sure, everyone loves Factorio, that's why you're here. That's why I'm here. But I just think absolutely spamming people with Factorio might not be a good idea for people. I think people might have a little bit of a thing against that, and I respect that. Speaking of a lot of things coming in, here's another rocket. We weren't really speaking of a lot of things coming through, but hey, look, it's a rocket, and we're very proud of it. So that's 171st rocket, so 12 rockets to go before we need to... Spamming Factorio can't be bad. I would mostly agree with you, Lord Platypus, aside from the fact that I have about 30 videos, each one being like 2 to 3 hours long, and I think spacing them out just a little bit gives people a better chance to actually watch them if they want. I know people aren't watching every video. I think that would be... Look, if you're watching every video, please let me know in the comments, because, wow, I'm impressed. But I want people to be able to like go, oh, look, it's a Factorio video. I'll see what Seif's up to today. And that, I think, is healthier? I don't know. So, yeah, I'm still going to be playing a lot of Factorio because it is honestly one of the best games. I was considering for a while doing Oxygen Not Included. Fantastic game. But I really want Spaced Out to be completed before I do that properly. So, I will wait. In the meantime, we have cobalt problems still. It does look like heat shielding is sort of getting resolved, though. RCUs are coming through. I'm not too worried about them. Okay, let's get heat shielding done. No, not heat shielding, cobalt. What the heck? Heat shielding is going well. How about more heat shielding? No, it's not. I mean, kind of. Yeah, look, part of me is wanting to be like, I won't be as spaghetti in space exploration, but I know who I am as a person and I cannot promise that. I would like to promise that, but I cannot promise that. Because I am a monster. And I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be a... Okay, anyway, enough of that joke. But yeah, so that's my plan. We are just going to go straight back into Factorio, but on the Sunday secret streams, it might probably most likely be whatever roguelike I'm enjoying at the time. Because I am quite a fan of a good roguelike from time to time. As many people are these days. No guarantee that I'll actually play Rogue, because I have not played Rogue in 20 years, but that's the joke I'm going with, so I don't know what the heck's wrong with me. But yeah, no, plenty of more time for spaghetti, do not worry. I am very keen on giving space exploration a go. So if you are here for the first time, seeing the end of this and go, I have no idea what's going on, hey, look, please give a follow. Space exploration was only a week or so away, and that's going to be interesting. Because it's going to be base Factorio at the start, I understand? And that's confusing, because I haven't played base Factorio in like a year and a half? So that should be interesting for me. Why are you here again? Like, yes, we needed tungsten powder, but do we not need it over in yellow science? Oh, probably not, because cobalt was slowing it down. Okay, well, you know what? Unload your dark business here, good tungsten powder train. It does make sure that we don't run out of tungsten powder for the rest of the rocket. Yeah. So we have further improved cobalt steel, I hope. I'm just standing on a train track to flex on my own base. Don't mind me. That does look like it's creating more steel. Maybe even another inserter down there would help. If you do like a spaghetti, but you do it like a modular spaghetti, is it lasagna sheets? Like, is there different names for different types of spaghetti? I know this is something I should know by now, but lasagna sheets needs to be a thing if it's not already. Okay, and we probably need to boost these speeds. Just a couple of them. And that should just push things through just a little bit faster, which is really all I want in life. Just more steel forever. Doesn't look like it's slowing down much. It does slow down a little bit, but not too bad. So, followers of the stream, which is everyone right now, I have added a new thing in the channel points rewards. You can now choose to add a new sound. I know people really like the sounds. It's what people tend to use the points on because it's not like I have much else for it. So if you want to be the chooser of a new sound, you can do that and I will get the sound in for the next stream. I don't know how badly this is going to go. I do reserve the rights to say no. But, you know, people like the sounds, and I want to encourage that because they scare the shit out of me every time they play them. If I see them in advance, it doesn't scare me as much. Thankfully, it comes up in the chat, but usually I don't see it coming and I'm scared. My wife just shouted, "You never see it coming." It's the only Persona song she knows, so, you know, give her a break. It is a good song, though, actually. It's an effing banger. That is the wrong way around. Now, we got some problems over here with... This is right, I remember the problem now. You'll see that my Persona 5 is you know, I'm just a big fan of just SMT games in general. Even though some people like... Actually, Persona's not a Shin Megami Tensei game. I'm like, I know that. I like all the Mega 10 games. Even Persona, that's not an SMT game. Because I want to make bad decisions. Bad decisions is SMT, actually. That's the ones where it goes like, hey, you know, you want to side with the forces of good? And I'm always like, because I'm an absolute... Look, there's a word that for people like me that choose the side of law in SMT games, and it's not a nice word, and I'm not going to repeat it. But I'm like, yeah, I'll pick the side of good, because I make the mistake that good and law is the same thing. No, 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 no. Good and law are not the same thing. And so then I pick the side of law, and then I get screwed over by Yahweh. Happens every time. You'd say learn, and I say I will, but not today. Okay, so the plan here is to just keep spamming beacons. And that should actually push through a lot more green circuits, hopefully. Now we could probably... Can we boost the scene further, or we think we're good? I think we're mostly good. Yeah, you know what? I'm pretty happy with this. It is using iron, but hey, look, we just did a thing which gave us a lot more iron today, so it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah. Okay, green circuits. Lots of them being made. Fantastic. What you want to see in life. Cobalt steel? Could still be better, actually. That's alright. Important thing is that we are still making cobalt steel, but it is the thing that's slowing my... Wait. What does that symbol mean? Oh, lacking the oh gosh. You shouldn't be wanting those ones, you should be wanting these ones. And speaking of which, just faster inserters for everyone. At least until I run out, and then you can't have any more. Yeah, I'm sure I'm not alone with Factorio, that sometimes I see Factorio in my sleep, and then I optimize my factory, and then I don't, because it's a dream factory. So 2 problems with dream factories. 1, they aren't real. That's a problem. The second problem, and this is a big problem, if you think this factory is bullshit crazy, a dream factory just makes even less sense. Like, you've got to get solid oxygen chunks to make iron now. And I'm like, well, shit, okay, how do I freeze them? Now, of course, that's not a real thing, but, you know, if you look at this factory and go, wow, madman here, yeah, dream factory worse. Dream factory way worse. So, yikes. Blue chips are mostly good, titanium good, cobalt disappointing. Can't say I'm too surprised by cobalt disappointing, but at the very least we're getting some cobalt through, which is still making some of the yellow sciences. Once we've launched enough rockets, we will be turning off, well actually, launching 20 rockets just means we turn on the, we turn off the satellite production. That doesn't actually stop much. Well, then we launch 10 more rockets and then we're done. And the idea is once we've turned that off, then we should be sort of good for finishing. At least there'll be a few things left. So we're 172 rockets. That's exciting. The surprise of what is lacking, it is still heat shielding. Big problem with that now is the silicon nitrate or nitrite. I don't know the difference. All I know is you shouldn't eat it. Incorrect statement there. Okay, so we are trying to process it, but it is being processed too slowly. So how do we process it faster? Well, I don't know, the same way I do everything. Just add beacons willy-nilly and hope that it helped. I mean, is there another way to do things? I don't know if there is. I mean, organization, sure, but who's got time for that? We've got a factory to run. Oh, you know what? Just go. There we go. Just bookend it with beacons. Bookend it with beacons. Okay. Quite frankly, so long as this is not... Wait a second. What? What? Okay, can we not do that? Why do we do a cool spin? What is up? What is the purpose of the cool spin? Nobody knows. Probably isn't actually gonna speed up silicon nitride that much. It's gonna speed up a little bit as it catches up with everything, but after that, it's gonna be the same as it always was. Okay, but it is still processing it, and that should still be making us a lot more heat shields. That is the real goal of life. In fact, that does look like everything's sort of backing up a little bit. Hopefully. Getting there. Okay, cool. And it does get all the way to the end. Awesome. And yeah, sure enough, then it's sort of caught up on itself. That's alright. And RCUs are still being manufactured as fast as they can, but that is very heavily dependent on heat shields. I think next time I play SeaBlock, I'm just going to have a warehouse by each one, just so I can make infinite numbers of things, because I could have made more heat shields in that time. Like, there was a time when I didn't have many RCUs, and that's been a mistake that I didn't work on it more at that time. And let's just speed up these, because for some reason they're on reds, which is, as usual, confusing. I wonder if there'd be any bonus to grabbing this iron from up here rather, and just piping it down there. It would probably allow more cobalt steel. Sure, it's one more mess, it's one more piece of spaghetti in this bullshit spaghetti factory that we call home, but there's one thing I like, it's more bullshit in the bullshit spaghetti factory. So let's go to up there, and let's gather what we can. There's a few places which do use iron, which could probably even have a little bit more input, and that would allow things to be spread out a bit. So yeah, let's do this. So, loving that. Okay. Oh, you know what? Let's put a pump into it as well. Okay, good start, good start. We're not done yet. Oh no. I like the idea that we just put a pipe down there and go, okay, well, that's good enough, we're done. No one would suspect we're done there. People have slightly higher hopes for me than that. Ah, I was hit by a train. Okay, well, no one had higher hopes that I wouldn't get hit by a train, let's be honest. There are some hopes that we all know will be met in a hilariously inept way. One of them is being hit by a train repeatedly. Okay, so if we grab that. Now, we're not going to be quite done with this yet, but for now, just keep filling that over this way. Then iron is just above me, I believe. Yes, it is. Yes, indeedly do. Okay. Now, it'd be great if I just moved that one along. Then it would actually connect almost nicely. Almost nicely, he says. That's still not great. But that should be pumping through quite a bit of iron, actually. In fact, way more iron than I anticipated. Yeah, okay. The fact that it's still pumping through that much... How much iron does this actually take, out of curiosity? I didn't check that. Materials per second. It does actually require about that much iron. Wow, okay. Also, I see power is beginning to fluctuate. That's scary. And shouldn't be happening. Okay, but in the meantime... Yeah, the amount of iron that we're starting to try and pump through it is an absurd amount. Which is good. We love absurd amounts of iron. My favorite amount of iron. The only thing that we're probably running into here is now they're actually moving too slowly. So, speed it up. Yeah, that's a bit slow. So we will speed all this into blue belt speed. Ideally we could also turn these into pellets, but I think I need limestone for that, and I do not want to deal with that nightmare situation right now. Why are you being slow? You shouldn't be slow, you should be faster than that. And so we can be faster than that. But to be faster, you must think faster. So we're in trouble already. Hopefully that... We just want that nickel to be coming faster than it currently is. We could possibly even do it with these. Definitely not that one, though. Character's in the way. Character, get out of the way. Okay, and then, that's good. We can make a little bit of extra space there. What? No. Okay, that's more nickel. I think we're using a lot of nickel for this project as well, whatever that is. Is this the titanium? This is the titanium, okay. Wow, nickel was just like a metal that I just didn't use, and now, out of nowhere, I'm like, yeah, you know what, we could use a lot more nickel. Let's change that just a tad. Let's not go quite that deep into nickel. Actually, no, other way around. Let's go that deep on this one, but not on this one. Because that one is closer to the edge. And therefore it's closer to the pump, and therefore, logically, it should be more useful. That's the logic I'm going with. We'll see. I've got some manganese on me. I don't really care much for that. And I'm just going to turn my fan on. Ah, here we go. Alright, so again, these are going fine. Titanium, good. Nickel, not using as much of it, but we should have also sped up production, so it should be okay. And since we're not using as much nickel, it should hopefully mean that these are going a little bit better as well. But part of me is wondering if I probably just need to speed up nickel, that's probably all it is. If I speed up nickel, it should be fine. Don't know how I speed up nickel faster though. Aside from like illegal speed modules. But do I seem like the sort of person who would use illegal speed modules? These speed modules, officer? I don't know where they came from. If we really need to, we can speed them up with speed zeros. Okay. So then, now that we've got the legal speed modules, chuck them in there. That's going a bit better. I'm a bit happier with that. In fact, now these are going kind of too slowly, which is kind of funny. I knew it was going to try and do that. I didn't stop it, but I knew it was going to try. So thanks for almost losing my speed module 3s. Let's just speed this up. This is going to be needed for a lot of iron anyway. No reason this can't be the top of the line stuff. I know it's top of the line, but sometimes I like to assume that it's top of the lion. I mean, look, there's a reason they call me SeiferKatt. The main reason is because that's what I called myself, but, you know, it's top of the lion. And it appears we have... I was about to say run out of belts, but no, we've just got lazy robots. Okay, this might be a time for a resupply. It's been a while, I guess. Okay, and about now the bots should all launch to give me my delicious resupplies. Here they come. Where are you guys going? Oh, that's where they dropped the stuff off when they tried to give it to me, but they couldn't find me because I ran out of range. I don't know whose fault that is every time, but it's probably not mine. Could probably stand to speed these up a little bit. Not hugely, but a little bit of a speed would probably be good. Because I don't like the fact there's a couple of gaps. So how do we speed this up further? Well, we've already just chucked a bunch of iron into it, so I suppose that was pretty good. In fact, I don't know how you improve on it after that. How you improve on it, actually, is like... Nope. It's like that. And that should push a bit of throughput across. I mean, I suppose that helped. Iron does seem to be the problem though, doesn't it? Oh, it's pretty thick actually. It is... No, you know what? I was going to say something, but I decided I didn't want to say it. Okay, and that should thicken up my iron just a bit. Cool. So it's not quite 4 belts worth, but it's certainly good enough. And hopefully with this extra production... What is this actually? Why do we have speed modules here? That's gross. No, none of that, none of that. What? No. What the heck, guys? We can give you speed modules. Does this one do the same thing? Yeah, they do. They both do. Oh my goodness gracious me. That one even had an empty slot. But now everything's slower. What will we do? Well, we'll do what we do every other time we have a problem. We just add shit tons of beacons and call it a day. I have no other rational way to solve a problem. And now iron is not the problem, it's whatever the heck's going on down here. Could do this. Just steal them from the side. It's fine. What are you gonna do? Fight me? You wouldn't dare fight me. You're my factory. My factory probably would. If anyone's gonna fight me, actually, my factory would be the one to do it. And you know what? These are doing great, but they'd do better if they were faster. Yeah, that's alright. And I believe we've got a more of a throughput of these electric circuits now. Although, what would improve this better? More beacons. We're going to need more power, aren't we? Let's just be honest here. We've gone too mad with power, and now we need more power. They always warned us this day would come, and yet we did not listen. I deliberately walked in front of that train just to amuse myself. I'm not laughing, but I am smiling. No, I'm not actually. You can see it on the camera. I'm smiling in my head. It's the lamest type of smile. Sometimes I forget I got a web camera up, and then I'm just like, well, you can see I'm not smiling or laughing. It's all gone wrong. The lies, when will they stop? Never. The lies will never stop. Oh, we've got another rocket launching. That's 175, 176. Yeah, it's 175. That's alright. I want to stay here because I want to see how much the rocket gets built while it's like waiting for the rocket to launch. I'm not chasing that rocket. I'd always love to chase a rocket, but I'm not doing it right now. So it should get to about 115%, I reckon. Maybe even 120? 120 would be optimal, I suppose. And so that was 175. Okay. If we get above 15%, I'm happy. I'm officially happy. 18%. Heck yeah. It's always good to be officially happy. No one's going to argue with that, I suppose. These are not being produced. What's your problem? Solder. What is your problem with solder? Is it that we just don't have enough coming through? Is it throughput? Is throughput your problem? Throughput, isn't it? I can see it. Just these little bits of slow throughput are really a big problem. Meanwhile, Chrome has been backing up. How dare it? How badly did Chrome back up? Probably not that much, surely. No, it didn't really back up at all, actually. Okay. Phew. Last thing I need is Chrome to back up. We are at 37% of another rocket. Wow, we only need 8 more rockets, huh? I'm not going to start building it now, but I'm going to move the rocket pieces that I've built over. Suppose I need to get rid of a couple more things. So that's all my fuel cells I need, it's one of the 4 thrusters I need, and it's all the hull components I need. But the big delay is still these bloody heat shields. And I recognize they're doing their best, but they are slow to build. 30 seconds for one isn't actually that slow. Yeah, but we are going to speed things up just a tad. Can we get more if we do that? We can. So I've stolen a couple of faster modules. And hopefully that allows us to... Oh, that was already faster, cool. Silicon nitride still seems to be the problem. Okie dokie. Have we got the tick for chemical furnace 3s, I wonder? 4s rather. We do? Do we have chemical furnace 4s? We do not. He says, knowing immediately what he's about to have, which is the chemical furnace 4s. So. I'm going to want 20 of those for now. But wait, we don't have any. Yeah, we all know that's about to change. No one's going to be surprised by this. Chemical furnace 4s, just bring them in. Bring it in, boy. Bring it in. $30 seems reasonable. And here comes all the stuff. All the concrete comes in right at the end. So how many do we have at the moment? 2? 2 is not bad. But if we did this... Speed it up a little bit more. Tungsten pipes might actually be a delay. I don't think we make many of those. Yeah, maybe we don't need to do quite that much. Maybe we can chill it just a little bit. Tungsten pipes do seem to be the delay. Can I figure out where tungsten pipes are coming from so I can find them again? Up there. Oh, I think I know where they'll be. Probably near the tungsten if I take a guess. Okay, and that's getting my tungsten pipes. And thus my chemical furnaces, of which I have 8 currently, which is a good number. I'm happy with that. Anyone's wondering why it says bye there, that's where the rocket disappears. I don't know why I did that, but I did. Okay, so the problem is silicon. Actually, silicon powder isn't really a difficult thing to get. Why are we doing them like that? Wouldn't we better do some speed modules? I mean, I know we had a delay with silicon for a while, and maybe that's why we're doing this. I don't know. Whatever the reason, should help. Are we within range of the roboports? We are, okay. Well, if they've got more chemical furnaces, I'll bring them my way, I suppose. When they get around to it. Oh look, it's a chemical furnace. 2 of them, in fact. We do need a lot of them, though. These are still the main slowdown for some reason. Because of solder still. Is it because solder's slow, or is it because we just want way too much solder coming through here? It's because we want way too much solder coming through here that we haven't accounted for. I was wondering if that was the case. The only way we could really get more solder would be push it into the side, like here. Which we've done before. Don't know if it's something that's actually plausible here, though. Maybe. Maybe it's plausible, I don't really know. I don't really see more solder, though, so that's not helping. Good productivity module these. I don't know if that would be particularly a great idea. What are they going at the moment? Why are they getting speed boosts? What are they getting speed boosts from? Oh, that. Well, you know what? All of a sudden, I'm like, you know what? Productivity module these. Just use a little bit less of the silicon nitride, which isn't actually that much, but... And then maybe we need to start thinking about what we're going to do about power, because let's be honest, we've absolutely crapped ourselves with power with what we've done. Oh, it's a 9. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't like that spike. Why was there a spike there? It'd be so funny if at this point I ran out of power. Like, yeah, that shouldn't be possible. How's my deuterium stocks? Yeah, it's going up, so deuterium's not something we have a shortage of. The only thing we might be having a shortage of is reactors, which we can always make more of those. Speed. I got a need for faster silicon nitride. The classic phrase, don't worry about it. Now these are all sintering ovens, which... not much I can do to make a sintering oven faster. We are at 176 rockets launched, that's okay. That is what? How many do I need? 183, wow, okay, cool. I'm a little bit worried about possible lack of silicon, but that looks like it was just resupplied. Given the fact that it's like 1 silicon powder equals 1 silicon nitride, let's do the unthinkable. That will mean, of course, they're requiring more silicon to get this happening, but it should be okay. If I'm wrong, I'll find out very quickly. Hardly encourages me, that line, though. I wonder if we're going to start having problems with nitrogen gas. The answer to that is, yeah, it's happening literally right now. Like, okay, well, we can make more nitrogen gas. Where did the nitrogen gas even come from? I'd prefer just to copy and paste that. I've lost where nitrogen gas existed. Okay, it's from here. Okay, that's fine. Maybe it'd be better to construct it over here. There seems to be some space somewhere. I can't help but notice it also didn't actually contain the things that turn it into gas. Okay. Then we go... Whoop. Okay, more silicon is being used. Sorry, more silicon nitride is being made because now we have more nitrogen. Gosh, that's a very confusing thing to figure out. Basic chemistry is difficult, guys. Now the delay is actually these bad boys. They're the baddest of the boys. Actually, no, that could probably be the faster ones. Oh, actually, it covers all of them. Okay, yeah, absolutely. They should be the faster beacons. So we just need to get through the silicon faster now. Which, I'm okay with that being productivity modded. These aren't, but don't take as long. It's 5 seconds versus what? 7.5? Yeah, 7.5 seconds is so long. Like, can't believe how long 7.5 seconds is. I thought the number was way higher than that. I was thinking of the heat shielding itself, I think. But it does appear like we're getting more stuff constructed with it. Oh goodness gracious, no. That's not the upgrade button. This is the upgrade button. Just throw a bunch of those away. I don't know how many of them we need, but I don't think we need near that many. Just get out of here. It'll leave me with none of them. Right, because we just don't carry them anymore. I forget. It's mostly pretty full. And we've got a train that's run out of fuel. That is as surprising as it is scary, because no train should be really running out of fuel at this point. It is the blue science drop train. Oh yeah, because I never actually supplied that. It's an important train, but quite frankly, I don't think it matters. So we'll just chuck some fuel on it, and it'll probably be fine for the rest of the run. Glad I said that aloud. Can't imagine how that's going to go possibly wrong for me. And we probably don't need 30 of those anymore. 10 will probably suffice. Science still happening. Happy to see it. We're at 31%. So that means we've gained 11% in the last hour or so. Which is good. That's still 7 hours of gameplay if that stays that number. Ugh. That's alright, we'll get there. And that should be another rocket launched any moment now, which would be the 178th rocket. Ah, excellent. That's what you like to see. Warp. Warp. Okay, so now that we've got that under control... Bro. Can I have my tungsten, please? Oh, it's coming. Awesome. So heat shielding is going to be a bit slow for the moment because we've ran out of tungsten carbide plating. The good news is once we're done with the rockets, all the tungsten carbide goes into yellow science and that stops being a diversion for that. Goodbye, rocket. So the silicon goes on a spin while it's not needed, which is kind of cute. Oh, there's the rocket's shadow. I looked over there like, yeah, because I could see the rocket going like that. I'm like, oh, where's the rocket? Yes, this is how video games work, Seif. They're not real. Life is confusing. Okay, so upgrade a bunch of stuff that we don't really care too much about. Probably ditch those. It'll figure out how many of them we need to actually hold in my inventory. The bots are smart like that. Okay, 5 more rockets to go before we just stop needing satellites. We might do one more rocket with a satellite in it just to, as a safety strat, but I don't think it's needed. I mean, actually, if we need to launch another rocket at that point, it's pretty quick. That's not too big a deal. I'm a little bit worried about that filling up, but I don't think it's going to happen. Lots of purple science. Cool. How's yellow science going? Can we speed that up? Because that is one of the conditions for finishing this. That's pink science. Pink science is actually going fine. 60, I see about 70,000. And there's about 40,000. So we almost can stop making pink science forever. Which is neat, because that's taking a lot of blue chips, and blue chips are not the easiest thing to make. And it appears that the delay is due to tungsten plating, which that delay is caused by other stuff. Okay, cool. Can we go... Why was the delay caused? Another delay. Ah. Classic reason for delays there. Oh, no. What? Resin? Has resin crapped itself again? It bloody has. How? How? Resin's supposed to be the best of us all. But resin, it lies to us again. Oh well. Let's go look at resin, figure out what's wrong with it. Why it's broken again. Okay, so resin is down here. What's wrong with you? Oh gosh, you're really not making anything, are you? What's wrong with red Caterpick? Red Caterpick should not be having any issues whatsoever. Where is red Caterpick? It is... Let's add the station names, it's probably going to be useful. Oh, it's... Yep, I know where it is. That makes more sense. If you think about it, where the factory is and how it all started, everything makes sense. This factory is very organic. It was no planning, it just sort of happened. And that does lie into create some interesting problems. Oh no. What is going on here, guys? That's not great. Now we could bring a line of copper and a line of iron across. I don't know if that particularly helps me. I'll say one thing for sure, this is definitely not helping me now, so... okay. Upgrade. Crystallizers from 1 to 2. Yeah, it's smart to figure out that one on its own. Then these are Ore Crusher 2s. Fascinating. Those could be higher. Everything is slow around here because quite frankly we never thought it needed to be faster. Okay, so that fixes the iron problem to some degree. It'll probably fix a little bit more if we had some productivity modules and some speed. Okay, now, copper, similar problem. We've run out of good crystallizers, that's a damn shame. They are doing their best, but their best simply not good enough. Nope, I don't care about efficiency. Like that's a surprise to anyone. And I would like to prioritize that way, please. Much as the same way I'd like to prioritize that way. And hopefully that'll fill up these a bit better. Are you going to the resin? No, you're not, but that's okay. It'll get better. On the basis that it literally has to. Okay, let's get a resupply. Just sit here folding my arms. Just disappointed at my factory. There's no one to blame except the factory. Because I work hard. I don't work smart, but I work hard, and that's what really counts. There's a logistics bot in there. The laziest of robots. Can't believe it. Cannot believe it. Refuse to believe it. Will not believe it. Literally will not believe. We have a box of iron and lead here. That was when I was trying to make crystals, silver, and the only way I could make silver was by splitting in a weird way. Not in a weird way, as using the sorting, the non-specialized sorting. We've of course since done better than that. Ah, good, the bots went and did their work. Good job, bots. They're just like me, they sit around and do nothing and they go, oh geez, we really have to. Okay, fine, we'll do something today. Part of me should be agitated by that, but the other part of me just respects their gusto. Wow, these chests were not limited at all, huh? That's, I guess now we know why they never ran out. I mean, that's the only logical reason. They never ran out because there was so much crap in them. And now there is no crap in them. They're crapless. They tried so hard, but now they're crapless. Oh well, that says a lot about society. What does it say about society? No bloody idea. Oh no, I want that one. Alright, so we may have a bit of slowdown while this actually gets resolved. I wonder if I can... What ore do we have in here? Nothing of significant value. Okay, that's fine. But yes, I'd imagine a large part of the delay there was just because we never really got it fixed. And this could probably be a bit faster as well. It would probably just help a bit. Just to be a tad faster. Yeah, and already you can just see that's pushing out more wires. Maybe one more? Yeah. Each one of those pushes through 16 copper cables. I do not know how the heck I'm going to build a factory in base game. It actually scares me. I'm going to repeat something just so for those who weren't here before. Previously I was saying that when I was done with SeaBlock I was going to play something else for a month. That was wrong. I am now going to go straight into space exploration. The only difference in streaming is going to be if I do a secret Sunday stream, it will be not Factorio. It'll be something else, probably a roguelike. I'll decide on the day. So I don't know how much crossover there is between Factorio and roguelikes. But hey, I like the two of them, so maybe you do too. But the main bulk of the channel will still be Factorio. So, just in case you were worried about that. Yeah, so anyway, proceeding. I'm really concerned that we might actually have enough pink. That's right, we've got 100,000, so... If we've done, hang on, let me just do the math real quick. 200,000 divided by 200,000 divided by 1.24 is 161,000. Plus 3,500 because we had to do another one. Mine is 3,500 because no one actually cares. That was only cared for space science. Now, we are at 33%, which means there is 67% left. Where's 108,000 more science left required. Okay. So, do we have 108,000 science? Well, we've got... Okay. I'm just wondering if we can turn off pinks now. Because if we can, we might as well. It saves resources. So, what was the number that we were worried about? 108,000. So we've got 10,000 approx. 30,000. Okay, so 10 plus 30, that's 40. I can do those numbers. Cool. 40,000. 40,000. And then if you got another more, that's correct. No, it's gonna be here. They called something stupid like. So 40,000 plus 44,000 plus, of course, an extra. So we've got about 48,000. Okay. So we've got 48,000. No, wait, 58,000. So we still need to do another 10k. Okay, that's fine. We'll let it go for now. I do want to turn it off though, because it is using titanium, it is using... Oh, and look, right there, it has my favorite thing, which is belts. Not needed for this research section, but there they are anyway. My goodness. And also being able to stop using cobalt would be pretty good. Because cobalt is a rascally fellow that never really has enough of it, due to the fact that it needs to have steel, and steel is a right pain. Titanium's fine. Steel is a rascally fellow. Oh, we must have just had the yellows come in, because here comes the 3 prongs of yellow. Wait, I gotta have 3 prongs. That was accidentally 5 prongs. That's okay, I can't count. Counting is for dweebs. It's a true fact. Alright, so that's going okay. Paper is actually 50,000. That's more than I'd like in there, but that's alright. Another rocket is being launched. That's the 182nd. Oh, only one more rocket. Oh! I don't know what to do with that knowledge. Very exciting knowledge, though. Turns out we've already burnt through all my black processing modules. Didn't take long at all, I suppose. Maybe I do want to have that box just full. Just in case, you know? Oh, I see what the delay was. It's resin again, isn't it? Yeah, when one of those things collapses, you really go into a bad state. And I think my train is right there, doing things incredibly slowly. Like, incredibly slowly. Or it could just dump the stuff. Yeah, sometimes you gotta dump the stuff. Ah, that's needed for my ammonia. Now, I do have almost endless amounts of ammonia thanks to my limestone. Calcium carbonate? I don't know, calcium something. But I got a lot of ammonia that's getting burnt away, like hundreds of ammonia. 68,000 units of ammonia. No, wait. 680,000 units. It's a lot more than I thought, actually. I'm very impressed with this unload. Like, I know it's not that impressive, but I am very proud of it. I like it a lot. I was about to say, why are red circuits failing? Oh yeah, it's resin! The good news is once the red catalysts come through, resin should be sorted out pretty quickly. So what I might do is just see if I can speed up the catalyst pickup a bit more. Not really speed it up so much as just blue belt it. I'm going to hop on that train and I'm going to see where it takes me. If it doesn't take me to the right place, I'm going to say no. That's the wrong place. I'm sure whatever you were going to take me to was right, but it's wrong. This train's a bit slower than I would like as well, but that's okay. It's doing its best. That should sort my resin problems out for a bit. Gosh, I hope so. Thankfully I've already thought to speed those up, but why don't I just do that? And ammonia is coming through again. Everything's sort of coming through. Resin back in production. Pretty happy with this situation. Oh, it's actually something for this as well. Oh, naphtha. Yeah, okay. I suppose I needed to download some free music on naphtha.com. It wasn't even a .com, it was like a peer-to-peer thing. I don't know. I never used it much. Look, I was young, I had no money. I pay for my music now, as everyone does as they get older. That's the thing, when you're younger, like, it is more acceptable those skirting the line things that you do, but when you get older, you're like, you got a bit more money, you'd be like, yeah, I just pay for things. But then again, I didn't really listen to much music when I was younger anyway. And my father bought a lot of video games, so, you know, I guess I didn't really have that problem. It's always good to have parents, as when you're growing up as a kid, it was always good to have a parent who liked video games. Because you're like, haha, look at all my video games. I mean, sure, of course he bought what he wanted, not what I wanted, but, you know, why would a parent be like, no, I'm just going to buy the games my kid wants all the time? No. Buy the games you want, and that, I mean, it explains why I like some of the games I like these days, but I don't play flight sims. I'm bad at them. Not the reason I don't play them, it's just, it's also true I am bad at them. Dads always seem to love flight sims, I've noticed. My wife and I have talked about this. It's like the ultimate dad game. Like, there are dad jokes and there are dad games. And the dad games are like flight sims. Like World War II flight sims. Dads love them. Don't know why. So I know if I ever get into like World War II flight sims, I know that's when I truly dad it out. That logic makes sense to me and I'm going to stick with it. Those do not need to be here. They have never needed to be there and I want them. So this is for blue science, which I believe... I spent a lot of time trying to get this blue science to actually be up to snuff. Like, Fast and Light Theory C, I think it was. That was a tough one. We got through it, like all things. You know, we sped it up over and over and over again until we had lots of... Oh dear, oh dear, oh gosh, oh no. Okay, we're good. Calm down, everyone. Panic is over. Okay, so resin's coming back in again. Things are still probably trying to catch up a little bit, but they'll get there. Oh, okay. Where is the fibers? Oh, they don't come through as fibers, do they? Is no paper coming through? Actually, no, you know what? I'm going back to concerned. Why is there no paper coming through? Because that is all full. Why is that all full? Why are we not making fuel? Yeah, probably because... Ah, geez, tungsten again? I thought we had enough tungsten, I really did. Okay, well hopefully this fills up pretty quickly. I mean, it does go pretty quick actually, but I'm just a little bit annoyed because I thought we would be done with this bullshit by now. Trying to make yellow science, and I love it. I love its dedication. I love yellow science. I'm a big fan of yellow science, but I need my spaceships. I need a lot of spaceships. We shouldn't need any more satellites, so that's good. Well, at least we shouldn't need this many radars. Like each one required what? 5 radars. And I remember when I started, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to hand build a satellite. How many radar? I just need to make a radar. And I spent a while making it by hand. I was like, I've done it. And it's like, why can't I build it? You need 5 radars. I was like, I haven't done it. So I'm glad that's over with. It's kind of funny. That's 1,000 carbide platings. I didn't realize it would take that many. I love how it just goes around the outside before going into the middle. I know someone was telling me that the general convention is you do your goods, like your incoming goods on the outside and your outgoing on the inside, but I like to go incoming on the inside. That's just the sort of person I am. If that makes me a bad person, so be it. Yeah, this is not going to be enough tungsten powder. It's just not. Can we speed up tungsten in any way? Do we need to speed up tungsten in any way? I mean, not really. Tungsten's going pretty damn quick. Nothing will really speed it up now aside from maybe more minerals, but it's going okay. I'm mostly happy with tungsten. It'd just be better if it was a bit faster right now. Ah, vaguely hurt my wrist there. I don't know why. Probably RSI. Here's where it sneaks in. Okay, so how many more rockets do we need to launch? 2 more, and then we are done with science rockets. Then we have 13 more rockets to launch with the gear that we've got. And then we need to start picking up faster than light machine, not faster than light, speed module 3s to be able to get more efficient speed, like actually get it finished. We don't actually need to get those, we can just steal them from the base. And when faster than light is on like the last percent, we can just do a big swath and just do it that way. That's the plan. We're just going to steal from my entire base the faster than light devices. Nope, not the faster than light devices, the speed modules. Because we're going to need 650 more speed module 3s and 500 production modules. None of them are too hard to get, but it is just something I've got to keep in mind. Because I have made them, they're just scattered throughout the factory doing things. Mostly working. One would hope. I just would love to get the rockets all done by the end of today. And that ain't gonna happen. Unless we keep making our heat shielding. So unless we keep making heat shielding, we are gonna have a bad time. So we gotta keep making it. A bad time might be a little bit, not ambitious, a little bit doom and gloom. But we've got a lot to make. Thankfully, the resin does mean that these are being produced more. And chrome does not seem to be backed up right now, which is good. Which is good. That means... How's my iron going, actually? Like, my little iron facility, is that going alright? It is going alright. So the next question is, how's this one going? And the answer is... very well. Cobalt appears to be the problem down there now, which is funny because we have so much cobalt. That's alright, we can fix that. I think it looks like just an inserter problem. Because for some reason I liked using slow inserters for far longer than I should have. I mean, ooh, a fast stack inserter. Wow, look at us going with the times. So quick. Anyway, it's enough sarcasm for right now. I probably got more than me actually, but I'm not going to. And we're going to... Oh, I've got more sarcasm in me, don't worry. That should allow more molten cobalt steel to enter the line. Yeah, that's doing well. Steel itself seems to be doing pretty well. And it's best to just get the molten cobalt steel out of the way. Because we don't want it in there. We just pull it out of there, and then it should probably force it to work a bit harder for a little while. Actually, let's just put some speed modules in there just to really get it working. Okay, that's good. I'm pleased. It looks a lot worse than it is, because all the cobalt just got thrust over into that direction. Where it's going to be useful. Because as usual, the last thing I want is lazy cobalt. I mean, lazy cobalt would be bad too, but to be fair, kobolds, when they're busy, are way more dangerous. Also because they get busy. And just none of that. Just no kobolds, please. Oh, another rocket launch. Nice. I think that was 183, was it? 183? Oh, stop. Please stop. Okay, we accidentally put those in there. There's 182. Okay, so there is one more required. Not a big deal, though. Because we've already got a lot of RCUs on the way. And we are already 34%. In fact, this being... the satellite isn't really adding too much more difficulty. Sure, it requires a bunch of stuff, but quite frankly, like, none of it is that difficult. It's just more stuff. What I might do after this rocket is launched is just remove that inserter, and then we should be good. It's pretty exciting though to have enough space science. But once we are done launching those other things, then there's actually no more reason to launch rockets. Which is exciting and scary. I mean, no more reason to launch rockets until the last three things are done. Which, I mean, that just needs some of these. No reason to carry them around on me, I guess. That's absolutely full of crap. Wonderful. I mean, I guess the low density structures do not help that ever. Just, you know what? Just take those away. We don't need those. Just add the other stuff in there. In fact, it doesn't even need 400 of those now. It only needs, what, 300? Yeah. How many of those? 300? Yeah. How many of these? 300? Yeah. And these? 150 now. So that's pretty good. That will, probably gonna slow down my black processing modules a little bit. But that's okay. And we're at 87%. That is super exciting. Jeez, you just leave it for a second, it's like another 3%. So good. It's exactly what we want to see. 96%. The next one will get it to 98%. And the next one will finish it. Okay, cool. So we put that satellite in there and then we turn the inserters around. We're going to make another satellite just to be on the safe side, but I don't think it's needed. So, like you can see the space science being consumed. We have launched a lot of rockets in the last hour. So, it's made another satellite, but that's okay. Off it goes. And that should be the last space science I need, unless I have made some grave miscalculation. Which, let's be honest, it is me. It is possible. But that is one more thing that is done that just is done. That's exciting, yeah! Loving it! Okay, and then it's going to make how much of a rocket? Just based on what it was waiting for. Ooh, that's going to make a lot of a rocket. Yeah, things are going pretty fast now. Oh, it's still not stopped. Okay, it's stopped now at 33%. So, in the time that it took to launch the rocket, 33% of the rocket was made. Wow, that is quick. I am a little bit concerned with our tungsten amounts. As much as I'd love to get into... Actually, you know what? I don't even care anymore. Like, there's no real hurry anymore. I've done what I needed to do here. It'll just make them and... 35%, hell yeah! And all space science should be done. Let me just double check that. I just realized there's another way I could check that. I check space science all. Should be having 165. Is that number about right? 200,000. Doing this maths again because I do not believe it. 1.24 plus 3,500. So I've created 165,000 space science. I need 164,000 space science. So I assume that came up. So with that, we should have like 200 space science left over. We're going to run into a problem there. Like, I've done my maths wrong there somewhere. I just can't believe I've done it right. Now more yellow. Well, yes. The good news is one of the things that is slowing down yellow is tungsten powder. Tungsten powder is also needed for the rockets. So when that happens, then there is less rocketry bullshit required. Now, pink is something I was wondering about before. We are at 35%, so let's do that number again. 200,000. I should really just open up a calculator. I should get a calculator app for this game, shouldn't I? App. Ugh, mod. Okay, 161. But we have already completed 35% of it, so that is times 0.65. Reasonable. 104,000 required. Okay. So, if 104,000 is required, how much we got? Well, the logistics system has 44,000. Probably and change. So 60,000, 61,000, let's say. So that's 32,000, so minus 32. Oh no. That was 33. That's alright, we'll add another 1,000, that's fine, it's fine, we can figure this out. So that's 28,000. Now that's also another 9,600. Okay, so that leaves us 20,000 remaining that we require. I don't think we've got that yet. In fact, there's a train over here in my science. It's probably just waiting to unload. That's only got 324. You know what? Come back here, buddy. We got science to make. So we still need 20,000 science. That's alright. As soon as we turn that off, then a large part of this all gets turned off as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to force feed a train, as one does. Welcome back, train. You've been force fed with pink science. Get out of here. That was the sound of a train eating a lot of pink science. I'm sorry. Whatever you thought it was, that's what it was. I'm sorry. Pink juice? Absolutely. Who doesn't love eating the pink juice? Alright, so we've launched another rocket. And if we check SpaceX, we see one of the fuel cells has made off on its way. Careful. Okay. Oh. Okay then. It is a... I am not. And I'm like... So that's fine. Look, you've got that card. You can say that. I mean, I guess you didn't say anything discriminatory, but still not okay. I don't know if this story is safe to share. I'm going to share it anyway. So I was playing a game of colonization. Nope. Crusader Kings 2. And at one point, and I was telling my friend this story where I was playing as Byzantine Empire. And as the Byzantine Empire, stuff happened and eventually I took control of it and it was great fun. And I thought it'd be great if I became Jewish. Because, you know, as you do. And so I took over Israel and I formed Palestine. I made the temple, and I was very excited about that. And so then you can actually become the country of Israel. So Byzantine Empire became Israeli Empire, which I was like, that's pretty funny. And then I just started conquering because, you know, what else you do? You're already strong, start conquering. And I took all the way over to Germany, and I thought, that's pretty funny. You know, history, bad times, but, you know, Jewish Germany is kind of a funny thing. Not going to go into why. Anyway, so I'm telling my friend this story, and he's enjoying it. He's having a good time. And this Jewish guy, now, I don't like him. And it's not because of his religion, it's just because I don't like him. He just hears me saying anything about Israel or Judaism, and he just goes, "Don't talk about the Holocaust." And I'm like, I'm not going to. That was never what I was going to bring up. And he's like, yeah, well, don't. And I'm like, I'm not. I am just talking about Israel conquering Germany in 1200s. He's like, but don't talk about it. I'm like, I'm still not. And it was like, okay. I understand. It is a sore subject and I totally get it. Yeah. Exactly. I think it's one of those things, though, and in some way I can kind of sympathize a little bit. I don't entirely because I don't like the man that much, but I can sympathize with it, the fact that if you heard someone talking about something that's negative in your past or history and you've been injured by it before, then I can see why you would get defensive. And I think that's what it was. I think it was just the nature of he got defensive thinking someone was mocking him or his culture, and his first instinct was better protect it, better defend myself. But you do get to the point that you've got to be careful with those things. And look, I am not innocent of these myself, of course. I am not. Look, I'm a white Christian male, historically. I am the least. What is the thing? Yeah, exactly. You don't go, oh, I heard you're of this culture. Hey, let me talk about this thing that, still hurts you to this day in your culture. You don't do that. You don't do that. You be a good person. But you can talk about things like history is important. Unfortunately, people say history is important because it doesn't exist, and those people are assholes. They are. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, look, my ethnicity in New Zealand is I am what is referred to as a Pākehā, which is a word that I do not yet understand quite what that means. But basically it means I am white. It doesn't mean the word for white. It doesn't mean I am a foreigner. I don't even know quite where that word came from, but hey, that's what I am. So if someone says, what's your ethnicity? Sometimes on forums, I just tick Pākehā because that's the option I have. But yeah, that's New Zealand for you. And it's fine. That's just what it is. Some people don't like it. Some people take great offense to it. But then again, people are going to take offense to everything. Yeah. I don't see anything wrong with that. Like, as long as you're not judging people by their skin color, I mean, that's fine. Because why would you? Oh yeah, that's cool, man. I don't entirely understand that, but I'm totally going to look at that later so I understand a bit better. But yeah, cool, man. Anyway, how are we doing for time? Ooh, we are almost done, I'm afraid. I'm very sad to say we are almost done, but look, we have done well with our rockets. We have rocket dance. Sorry, I don't know. That's the rocket dance. I don't know if it's very similar to most of my dances, I'm afraid. Hello. I've been given cat food, and by that I mean I've been given almonds in my cat bowl. Rocket dance, ouch. Anyway, I've got some almonds to enjoy after my stream. So I'm done for today. So thank you very much for watching on this momentous day. We are so close to being finished. We are so close. Don't know why I did that sound, but I guess I'm excited. I'm going to say it one more time just in case people weren't around before. I was previously saying I was going to play something else other than Factorio when I was done with this run. I was going to play Civilization. I played a game of Civilization, and wow, that's a boring game to watch, isn't it? So no, Civilization's not happening. What I am going to do though instead is play Factorio Space Exploration. I'm just going to go straight into it, just scare the shit out of myself, and that's what we're going to do. The only difference will be that the Sunday stream, if I decide to do it, will be not Factorio. It'll be something else, probably a roguelike that I'm enjoying at the time. Okay, now that I've said that 3 times, we're done for today. Thank you everyone for watching. If you've enjoyed today's episode and you haven't... I can do this better. This is me selling myself. If you enjoyed today's episode and you're not currently following, please give a follow. It is the best way to find out when I am streaming. You can also check the schedule. It's pretty accurate, aside from the secret Sunday stream. But, as I said, that's not going to be Factorio anymore. I am going to be starting Space Exploration, as I just said, so if you're wanting to see a brand new run of that, please give a follow. It's the best way to be there when it starts. Of course, if you can't make the stream live, I also post these on youtube.com/SeiferKatt. about the same way as the channel, and the links are below. And that is where I post these videos. They are behind at the moment, quite behind, but you know, you can see a little bit more of where all this madness came from. What else? There's other stuff too. There is also a Discord channel if you'd like to give that a follow, and it's the best way to get in touch with me outside of the stream. And if you got any questions or want to offer any suggestions for Secret Sunday streams, that would be the best place to do it. What else is there? I've also added a feature now that you can use channel points to suggest a sound, because I know people like the sounds. The war horn is the new favorite one. It just sounds like a sad cow, but honestly, that's kind of what makes it charming. That's my wife just said that's also what I sound like. I do love her. She's so mean to me though. No, I'm kidding. What else have I missed? You can also subscribe to me if you do so feel inclined, but do not feel like you have to. I will keep doing Factorio regardless because I love playing Factorio. But if you feel like you want to subscribe to me and support me a little bit, then, you know, it's always appreciated, but certainly not required. And I think that's everything. Yeah, I'm going to say it's everything. So thank you for watching. I will be back in a few days, so not tomorrow. Not the day after, but the day after, same time as always, and I will hopefully... Oh, there's another rocket going. And we'll get one step closer to finishing this whole thing. So thank you very much, and I will see you next time. Take care, everyone. Bye. I don't know why I saluted. I used to do that, and I brought it back. Don't know why. What happened. Anyway, bye.